Chair of the Justice and Legal Affairs Committee.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would like first to congratulate you and members of the Parliamentary Service Commission for deciding to take this matter to court. I can assure you that we support you and expect you to get conservatory orders so that we can have sufficient time to amend the offending provision in 261. Mr. Speaker, this is a matter where a party acts in bad faith, decides to revisit what was purportedly revisited. Mr. Speaker, I would like to fault Honorable the Chief Justice as follows. Firstly, he is on what in legal parlance we call, he is in delicto. He himself has slumbered. He has slumbered per delicto. He has slumbered in action. For 2 years, when this matter was taken to him, he never acted. He is now faulting Parliament that I'm dissolving you because you have not acted. When a situation like that arises, no party is entitled to take advantage. The second way to fault him is that if you look at the definition of the word advice, I took time and I called my office when I was here to give me the legal meaning of the word advice. And they went to a dictionary, eminent dictionary in law called the Stroud. Stroud Legal Dictionary it is an unacknowledged authority on legal terms. And it says the word advice is guidance had not advised. Let me just give the proper meaning. It means guidance or recommendation offered to a client at a pin there, to a client with regard to a future action. In this instance, Maraga has no client. If you do an analogy, he has no client. He has acted unilaterally. I fought him as follows again. One, because of the experience of Wajiko, remembering that, and I'm using the name Wajiko to represent the people, spelled in Article 1. Because Wajiko had suffered through a system of impromptu elections in the former constitution, what we are calling roadside decisions, she decided that the time of elections, general elections, must be made public. And it is pronounced now in Article 101. And that is the only clause that gives leave to general election. There is no other clause in the Constitution. And when you interpret the law, one of the guidelines says that when there are two conflicting, if one were to say that the advisory note contradicts 101, because Maraga, the import of Maraga's advisory is to dissolve the House. And 101 provides for dissolution of the House and calling general election. If you said there was a conflict, then if there are two conflicting provisions, the first one is the one which takes precedence over the other one. I start challenging by any lawyer here. The first provision, when there are two conflicting, the first provision takes precedence. So 101 is the first precedence. So if you take it that it takes precedence, then 261 sub 7, no, Maraga is he acted on 7. Yes, it goes. It flops. Then the other way, the other prong that I want to take, Maraga, is Wajiko has the sovereignty. The sovereignty of this country, the sovereignty of the country, she is the mother and father of the Constitution. And the only person who is recognized to be her attorney in matters of the Constitution is only Parliament through her duly democratically elected representative. Would you say that Maraga is a democratically elected attorney? Because of that, Maraga cannot go and usurp 101 and decide to call for dissolve the House. I want to again to allude to what my colleague Aruoch referred to 259. The word shall is employed in 259. 259 subarticle 1D. It says, I want to emphasize this, that whenever you are construing and interpreting the Constitution, it must be in a manner that contributes to good governance. Would you say this advisory, the effect of this advisory is going to contribute to good governance? Already, Wajiko is overburdened by COVID, by slump in the economy, and you are telling her to go for elections impromptu, spend that $1 billion, then in 2 years down the line, spend another $2 billion. 10 billion, no. Elections.
Election is 10 billion. 10 billion.
Yeah, it's 10 and then 10. Yeah, that was unwise. I say this with an emphatically say so. This action by the Honorable the Chief Justice demonstrates clearly that he lacks rudimentary tenets of the law. I say this with a lot of respect. I know we should not be discussing the conduct of a Chief Justice, but the matters I'm alluding to are public knowledge.
He has invited it.
And again, he has invited it. One, I want to say, this is a Chief Justice who notoriously acquitted the Kiambaa victims when he was a High Court judge on very flimsy grounds when he was in Nakuru. Some other knowledge that you may not know. This same justice was number 4 in the interview.
Yes.
So, I don't think it was a question of regional balancing. He had a godfather somewhere. And he is still serving. I think there is somebody who alluded to bad faith. Looking at the way this advisory is crafted and the story behind it, you cannot slabber for 2 years and then impromptu one day wake up and say, I am now advising the president. Even the manner in which this advisory was transmitted, it is now public knowledge that it was transmitted through an email. An email to His Excellency. Here in Madarau, it demonstrates he was in a hurry. He was in a hurry to execute mandate at the behest of his master. Indeed, the effect of this, if it takes effect and this house is dissolved, just like a leader of my minority said, it is a mischievous way of killing the BBI. So let us in unison, my colleagues, support court action, get conservatory orders, and as soon as we can, I would request the leader of majority to guide us so that we get a bill here to amend or repeal or call it Article 261 as soon as the one with the timelines. I'm not talking about 227. I'm talking about 261, the provisions that give us afford timelines, so that once we remove that, then it becomes 27 will stay as it is until cows come, ng'ombe zirudi nyumbani. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for giving me that opportunity, and hope that in future proper emphasis will be afforded to Article 259 is a guiding whether any constitution as far as the constitution is concerned. Thank you very much.